Welcome to Cosmic Eternity Channel. Get ready to see the world through a completely different lens. What you're about to uncover isn't something everyone is prepared to understand. It's not about repeating affirmations or chasing signs from the universe. This message speaks to a much deeper reality, one that only a small number of souls on this planet ever truly experience. It's not just about awakening spiritually, it's about realizing you were born with a rare purpose, a quiet mission to help others find clarity when everything around them feels uncertain. Most people never notice this calling. It doesn't arrive with thunder or dramatic visions. It begins quietly, almost imperceptibly, as something subtle stirs within you. At first, it feels like restlessness or confusion. You might think you're just tired or lost, but that's not what's happening. It's an activation. It's your spirit remembering who you truly are and what you came here to do. This awakening doesn't visit everyone. It comes only to those who have the inner strength to carry the energy of transformation. If you've been sensing this shift, this pull towards something beyond logic, it's not coincidence, and it's certainly not temporary. It marks the beginning of a sacred turning point. Let's explore the deeper layers of this rare experience. Because if you're feeling them, it means you're not simply waking up, you're being chosen. The awakening begins in stillness. No flashes of light, no grand revelations. It arrives in the quiet spaces of ordinary life when you're commuting, scrolling through your phone, or folding laundry. Suddenly, a thought crosses your mind. This doesn't feel like my life anymore. Your job, relationships, goals, even your sense of self, everything begins to feel borrowed, as if you've been acting in a story that was never yours to begin with. Questions rise from within. Why do I care about this? Who taught me that this mattered? When did I stop feeling alive? You try to ignore it, to distract yourself, change routines, take trips, fill the silence, but the feeling deepens. It grows into a quiet tension between your inner self and the outer world. This is the first stage of the chosen, the shattering of false identity. Not everyone reaches this point. Most people remain comfortably asleep, never questioning the script they were given. But once the chosen begin to awaken, there is no turning back. A part of you craves safety, but it no longer fits. Even if you try to return to who you were, life won't let you. Because this isn't just change, it's a departure from illusion. And once you've seen through it, you can't unsee it. Then comes the second transformation, deeper, more demanding, and impossible to ignore. Your relationships begin to shift. People who once felt close may now seem distant. Conversations lose their depth. Connections fade. You might sit across from someone you love and realize you no longer speak the same language. This isn't about superiority. It's about vibration. Your energy is changing, and not everyone can match its frequency. This energetic mismatch creates friction. You notice awkward interactions, fading friendships, confusion from those around you. Spaces that once felt warm now feel heavy. It's painful and isolating. Many abandon their awakening here just to feel connected again. But those who are truly chosen keep going, because something inside refuses to shrink back into the illusion of comfort. This isn't rejection, it's realignment. The universe is reorganizing your connections to match the new vibration you're entering. It hurts, yes, but it's creating space for relationships that reflect who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Soon, the world starts to feel overwhelming, loud, chaotic, overstimulating. Crowds and social events drain your energy more than ever before. That isn't anxiety, it's heightened sensitivity. Your system is recalibrating to a higher frequency, one that can no longer tolerate the density it once absorbed unconsciously. You start feeling everything more deeply, emotions, intentions, energies. A longing for silence, nature, and introspection takes hold not from fear, but necessity. Even sounds, Foods or technology may begin to affect you differently. This isn't fragility, it's purification. Your energetic field is being cleansed for a higher purpose. The chosen don't just observe the world, they feel it in its entirety. And in a society built on distraction, that sensitivity can be overwhelming. This stage teaches you boundaries. You begin to choose where your energy flows, realizing that protecting your peace isn't withdrawal, it's preparation. This sensitivity becomes your compass, your inner guidance system. As your awakening deepens, something unexpected happens. The need to prove yourself fades. You may still have dreams and goals, but the hunger to compete or stand out dissolves. It might feel as though you're losing ambition, but in truth, you're trading competition for purpose. You no longer seek applause, you seek meaning. While many chase popularity, you crave alignment. While others try to control, you pursue harmony. You begin to understand that your worth has never depended on status, followers, or wealth. Your soul isn't here to win, it's here to awaken. When this realization takes hold, you stop trying to fit into systems that no longer resonate. Instead, you start building what others cannot yet see. Subtle changes follow. Time itself begins to behave differently. An hour may feel like 5 minutes, or minutes may stretch into eternity. This isn't distraction, it's a shift in consciousness. You're no longer bound to linear time. While most remain trapped in clocks, deadlines, and routines, your awareness expands beyond them. You begin to live fully in the only moment that truly exists, the now. In my opinion, what's being described here feels profoundly true on a personal and spiritual level. I believe that awakening isn't about rituals or symbols, it's about remembering who we really are beneath all the layers society builds around us. Many people spend their whole lives chasing meaning outside of themselves, but this kind of inner awakening shows that the answers were never out there to begin with. To me, this journey is both beautiful and painful. It's beautiful because it reconnects us with something divine, a deeper truth that feels eternal. But it's painful because it requires letting go of everything familiar, relationships, ambitions, even parts of our own identity. It's not easy to realize that the life you once fought to build no longer fits the person you're becoming. I see this process as a kind of spiritual evolution. Not everyone will experience it, and that's okay. But for those who do, it becomes impossible to go back to sleep. It changes the way you see people, the world, and yourself. I think that's the true sign of awakening, when you stop living by old definitions and start living in alignment with your soul's purpose. Ultimately, I believe this is what being chosen really means, not that some are better or more special, but that some are ready to carry a higher awareness. It's a calling to live more consciously, to guide through example, and to help others find their own light when the world feels dark. When the past no longer holds you captive and the future stops demanding control, something remarkable happens. You settle fully into the present. That's where real power lives. Logic begins to lose its grip, and intuition quietly takes the lead. You start trusting timing instead of forcing it. Life becomes less about managing and more about aligning. Subtle signs begin to appear. People, opportunities, and messages arrive with uncanny precision, as though the universe itself is orchestrating every moment. The deeper you surrender to this rhythm, the more time transforms. It stops feeling like something to chase and becomes something you move with. One of the most unexpected parts of this transformation is the growing desire for solitude, not because of sadness, but because of balance. You no longer feel lonely when you're alone. You feel complete. You still care about others, but now you understand that silence is the language of the sacred. This phase often follows heightened sensitivity. Being around too much noise or too many people starts to cloud your energy field. Even simple conversations can drain you. It's not rejection, it's energetic alignment. You begin to decline invitations, mute notifications, and spend long stretches in stillness, and instead of isolation, you feel peace. Solitude becomes a sanctuary for recalibration. It's where insights emerge, where your nervous system unwinds, and where your spirit finds rest. While many fear being alone, those who awaken learn that quiet isn't emptiness, it's sacred ground. The longer you remain in this stillness, the stronger your energy becomes when you re-enter the world. Silence doesn't weaken you, it sharpens your frequency. In that inner quiet, clarity returns and purpose begins to rise. You feel something stirring deep within, something beyond words. You sense that your life carries a unique mission, that you're not here just to survive, but to fulfill something only you can bring to existence. The challenge is that the full path ahead isn't visible yet. You might catch glimpses in dreams or intuitive flashes, but the details remain hidden. The only thing you know for sure is that what once satisfied you no longer does. That marks the beginning of an identity shift. Roles and jobs that once felt secure start to lose meaning. The labels that defined you stop fitting. You feel a pull towards something greater, even if you can't yet name it. The more you resist, the louder your inner voice becomes. It's not imagination, it's your soul rising. This calling doesn't shout, it whispers. But once you hear it, you can't ignore it. Reaching this point means you've entered a rare stage of awakening when the soul sees the path clearly, even if the mind still doubts. Then comes the most transformative phase, the return to truth. Once it unfolds, everything changes. Pretending becomes impossible. You can't fake happiness or participate in meaningless conversations. You no longer dim your light to be accepted. You're not becoming harsh, you're becoming real. And that authenticity radiates. Some people will drift away, others will be drawn closer. But above all, you'll feel free. This is the essence of the awakening, living in alignment with truth. You stop performing, stop shrinking, stop apologizing for existing. Your worth no longer depends on achievements, titles, or validation. You find stability not in ego, but in clarity. Life begins to simplify. Decisions feel lighter. Boundaries become natural. You no longer ask permission to be who you are. When you remember your true self, you stop pretending to be anything else. That's when awakening becomes irreversible, not because you've found all the answers, but because you've stopped living in illusion. In a world addicted to appearances, authenticity is revolutionary. If any part of this journey resonates with you, know this: you're not broken, confused, or imagining things. What you're experiencing is real. It's not burnout or a passing phase, it's a spiritual activation. You're beginning to live from remembrance rather than survival. You're here to make an impact, not by sacrificing yourself, but by being your truest self. You're here to awaken fully, to root into your purpose, and to let your light show others what truth feels like. That's why the old life no longer fits. That's why the noise feels louder. That's why your soul calls you inward. This isn't just a spiritual awakening, it's preparation for leadership, for service, for guidance. If these words echo within you, write in the comments, "I feel this awakening in my soul." And remember, the chosen never walk alone. Before you go, don't miss the next message, because now that you've remembered who you are, the next question is, how do you protect that truth in a world still asleep? From my own spiritual perspective, I see this entire journey as a sacred process of remembering a return to authenticity that the world often forgets. To me, awakening isn't about escaping life or reaching some mystical destination. It's about becoming fully present in who you truly are. It's the quiet moment when you realize that peace was never something to search for. It was always within you, waiting for your attention. I believe that this path strips away everything false, everything borrowed. It exposes the truth beneath the noise. What once felt important begins to fade, and what's real, love, clarity, purpose, takes its rightful place. For me, the beauty of this transformation lies not in perfection, but in honesty. The more aligned I become with my own soul, the less I need to prove, explain, or chase. Spiritually, I've come to understand that this awakening is not a one-time event, but a continuous unfolding. Each silence, each moment of solitude, deepens the connection between my human experience and my divine essence. And the more I live from that awareness, the more I see how everything, even the pain, serves the evolution of my soul. In the end, my perception is simple. Awakening is not about becoming someone new, but about remembering the truth of who I have always been.